Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode here of the Heron's Haven podcast here on the Soulful Soccer channel. My name is Matt. Just as I was starting the stream, there was a motorcycle just completely revving his engine with no care in the world right outside. So hopefully you guys didn't pick that up. Um, but yeah, we're here to talk about Inter Miami. We're here after another game in the League Cup, our final game in the group stage against Tigres. Unfortunately, we took the 2-1 loss, but we're here to talk about what happened, what went wrong, who played well, who didn't necessarily, and yeah, what to expect in the next possible game. We're already qualified for the round 32, despite the loss, and yeah, we also have one uh um I don't know, one news, like one one news bit that we need to talk about, which I'll probably just get out of the way first, before we jump straight into the game review. Um because it's short and sweet and there isn't too much information on it, but if there is any upcoming information that we'll probably I'll talk about it later on in the week, and I'll go live or I'll make a video about it, depending on how much actual info is released. But from what we know, as of I want to say either yesterday or 2 days ago, um, Inter Miami have acquired an international roster slot from Colorado. So just to show you guys the article, this is the article. Like it's literally like like two sentences, not even. It's literally two sentences. Inter Miami announced today that has acquired a 2024 international roster slot from Colorado Rapids in exchange for $100,000 in the 2025 general allocation money. So that's next season's money. So we spent $100,000 for next season's money to get this international roster slot, which it's all the arrows and all the sides are pointing to Angel Di Maria joining the club, right? Like that's like essentially what this means. Um, but that's I just wanted to get that out of the way first because there's literally no other information on that. Just that we've gained the international roster slot. We're going to lose Diego Gomez at the end of the season. So that's going to be two international roster slots that we'll have guaranteed open for next season. But that's something that we'll talk about later on in the week. But I just want to let you guys know that now because that did come out today, Sunday, on Friday. This came out on Friday. But yes, let's go straight into the game. Skrilla's already coming in with the heat. We lost that game because of Tata, Gustavo joining in. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate that. Gel Rocco's already here. Di Maria is staying in Benfica. I mean, he's staying in Benfica for the rest of his contract, but he only has 1 year. So in 6 months from now, in December, he can sign a pre-contract agreement with Inter Miami. So yeah, that is definitely a possibility. Is something that we cannot rule out. But anyways, like I said, we'll talk about that later on in the week. That'll be another live stream that we'll talk about we'll talk about who we can bring in for that international roster slot, and things like that. So, but today we have to talk a little bit about the game from last night. I know who talked about it. I know the Battern Herons talked about it, and the Pink Dialogue, I think they call themselves. Those guys are awesome. Though both of those guys really, really know ball, right? And so I know they talked about the game yesterday, so I'll try not to repeat what they said. If anything, we'll keep it short and sweet. But yeah, there a lot went wrong in that game. Just kind of in general, I feel like Tigres was just the better team overall. We're gonna get to the more specifics in a minute, but just kind of an overview of what exactly happened. We just didn't we just didn't deserve to win that game. I think like that didn't even completely rotate the team as much as he said he would. I mean, Suarez didn't play. And obviously, and then Sergio Busquets didn't play. Chelo played over Ian Frey, which is actually crazy. But I feel like just nothing kind of went our way in that game. A lot of mistakes. It was very sloppy. It was very just bad. It was just bad ball all around. But we'll get to the starting lineup. Let's take a look at the starting lineup from yesterday's game. And here it is. This is my personal graphic. But yes, in goal, Drake Calendar's back in net, right? Am I happy with this decision? I'm not mad about it, but would have I preferred Dos Santos? Absolutely. Like I feel like there was no point in playing Drake Calendar. Probably the only reason why Drake Calendar played is for just to have not to have too much time, without minutes. So because this would have been, I think, his second week without playing a game, which is kind of a lot for a goalkeeper, right? Because they already don't play, as much. So yeah, I don't know, but that was that. Drake Calendar in net, Jordi Alba, Martinez, Aviles, and Chelo in the back four, guys. Oh, this frustrates me because I've been the biggest Aviles hater since day one, and I think you guys know that, right? You guys know that I've been the biggest Aviles hater since day one. Same thing with Chelo. I've been the biggest Chelo hater, and I just didn't like how either of them played. Like let's just be straight up, right? I didn't like how any of them played. Um, and Martinez, I thought was our best defender of the game, and if not one of the best players that played overall. Right. Skrill is already saying, why did he put Gressel in the midfield? I was just going to talk about that, right? Because I got the graphic wrong because I copied it straight from what they posted. Like when Inter Miami posted the graphic on their Twitter, I just kind of made this assuming that Rojas would play in the midfield, but Gressel and Rojas switched positions. So Rojas played more of an attacking role, and Gressel came back in the midfield, which I honestly don't mind Gressel in the midfield, but I don't mind him in the midfield if Messi's playing. If Matias Rojas is playing, we cannot put Julian Gressel in the midfield. Like let's be real here. And it's like why it just didn't there was just nothing going on. Like there was just nothing going on in Matias Rojas' case. And even in Gressel's case, this was probably the most quiet I've ever seen Gressel in a really, really long time. And it's just annoying, right? Like it's annoying. I'm gonna do this so you guys can see me when I talk a little more. Um, this was the quietest I've seen Gressel in a really long time, and that's not his fault because he played a position. He was just playing in a bad position with Matias Rojas not really doing so much. I mean, like he didn't have like a terrible game, but he honestly could have done a lot more. I understand that he's a lot better on the one-on-ones. He could be more of an attacking threat compared to Gressel. I mean, like Gressel's not really a goal scorer. He's more of a playmaker. He creates opportunities, he creates chances. And I think, I don't know, in my opinion, he could have done a lot better up in that right wing spot. And he's been our best player ever since Messi's departure. And I mean, I've always said that he's been one of the most underappreciated players of the club. But I think without Messi, he's definitely been one of the better players at the club. People have been realizing that. And so I don't know, that definitely played a bit of a downfall. It definitely worked against us in last night's fixture. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. It was not this decision. I think he was trying to try something out because I think at the end of the day he wanted to play around with Rojas. I feel like he wanted to know, if Rojas can play up there, even with Gressel in the midfield. Like I guess he just wanted to know if they could click as well as Messi and Gressel could click because Messi's going to be out for a while, guys. And so I feel like Rojas is going to have to be a little bit more offensive. And I think that was just kind of a glimpse of what I guess Tata was trying to figure out. But anyways, what's up, Lionel? And what's up, Rebellion? Sorry that I wasn't reading that. I just had to go on that little rant there. But why would I start Dos Santos? Because why not? I feel like Dos Santos had a great game in the last Leagues Cup match, and I think that Dos Santos is already getting limited playing time. Like he's getting absolute almost nothing. Let's just say almost nothing in terms of playing time and minutes. I think that we should keep that momentum going with Dos Santos, give him that confidence and put him in net and see how he can do against a big club against Tigres. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. I mean, like we qualified anyway. Um, it could definitely be a confidence booster for a kid like Dos Santos. And he's already a great keeper. And I think when you give him that confidence and when you give him the opportunities and the minutes, he's only going to get better. Not saying that Drake Calendar's bad. I mean, like people can backlash him and say that he had a bad game last night, but it honestly wasn't his fault. But that's why I would have played Dos Santos because it's like just give him that opportunity, give him that chance, give him the confidence that he needs. And we'll get to confidence. We'll talk about confidence a little bit later with Campana. We have Gel Ratko saying that Chelo played okay defensively. He sucks really bad offensively. And that's why I predicted that Ian Frey would make the start, right? Because I predicted, if you guys remember, Rebellion, Ace Leonel, Squirrel, you guys were here in the preview. But I predicted, and I posted a graphic up on YouTube and on Discord, but I predicted that Ian Frey would make that right back appearance, right? And I think attacking why we would need as many attacking threats as we possibly can. I think Ian Frey is an attacking threat. He is very, very awesome offensively. And yes, Cello won the penalty kick. that led us to scoring the equalizer, but that's just like it just so happened to be Chelo, right? Like that's not because he played in the right back position. That's not because like he's good offensively. That's just because Chelo was up there and it just so happened to be him that got pulled down, right? Um Ian Frey, Ian Frey is just such a good player, guys, and I say it in every episode. I feel like, and I feel very repetitive, but he's an amazing player, and he's definitely a better player than Chelo. He should have got the start um last night. He should have got the start in the game before that, I think, because I think he came off the bench as well. I don't know. But yeah, no, hopefully he will be playing in this next game. We are going to be playing against either Toronto or Pachuca. They play tonight at 8 p.m. So the winner of that will be playing us. Um, but yeah. Because I think whoever wins that will finish top of their group. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. It's really bad. It was just really bad. Offensively, we had Taylor, Campana, and Gressel. Campana obviously making the start. There was no way that he was making Suarez travel. Um, I don't know. Let me see what you guys think, and then we'll get into that in a second. Ace Luna says, I understand he's not getting minutes, but we needed Drake today uh for the knockouts. Yeah, I mean, like you could say that, right? Like we needed Drake fit and ready for the knockouts 100%. But I don't know. I think Dos Santos could have been a good cup goalkeeper. But yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of a personal preference. I mean, I'm not it definitely wouldn't have changed the game at all. I feel like that's like I'm not mad at that calendar plate at all. Like, if anything, he probably deserves to start. Drake couldn't stop that first goal, maybe the second. Yeah. So about us conceding those goals, right? So let's break it down like goal by goal. So the first goal we conceded, right? Let's talk about the first goal. Let me get to these other comments. Because I was saying, why Tata let Kritsov play? We all know he is out of timing. Campana had a bad game without his penalty. He was so bad with his feet. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about this. We'll talk about Kritsov. We'll talk about and the goals, right? So the first goal that we concede, right? All of you guys saw it, right? All of you guys watched the game. All of you guys saw the replay. It was just an extremely bad clearance, right? It was an extremely bad clearance from the defense. I'm pretty sure it was Aviles, right? El Toto Aviles, and it was just bad, dude. And guys, like, I don't know how much of you back Aviles. I understand that he's 19 years old. I understand that he's young. He has time. Um, he there's time for him to develop. But like at the same time, dude, like there's absolutely no way that Toto Aviles should continue to start for Miami. Like he has to be a sub. He has to be a bench player. He has to be a rotation player. This guy can no longer be a starter. Every time that this guy has touched the field, I have like absolutely despised it. I've absolutely hated the way he played. Every single time. We've always played a high ass line. We always play it's just a suicidal high line. We always play like he's always caught out of position. He's always caught making mistakes on the ball. He's horrific. It's just not good. Martinez was a much better player and much better defender than Aviles. I'd rather have Sergio Busquets back there. I obviously would rather have Freire back there, but obviously he's injured. I would literally have anybody else back there. I'd rather have Noah Allen playing center back. Like I genuinely just do not like Aviles starting for us, and that has to be known. It just has to be known. That has to be known to everybody that like he cannot be a starter. He cannot continue to be a starter. I do not accept him as a starter. He has to be a bench player. He has to be a rotational player, and he can only play if he can only play as a sub. I'd rather have Sailor. I'd rather have Sailor start. Like honestly, and speaking of Sailor, he should have. I honestly feel like he should have come off instead of Kritsov. Why did Kritsov play? Zero clue why he played. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, well, the reasoning right behind the substitution was him coming or him resting Martinez. That was the whole reasoning behind that substitution, right? Of Kritsov coming in. What was it? The last 10 minutes of the game. It completely changed the momentum for the last 10 minutes, right? Because they scored in what they scored what 4 minutes later or 3 4 minutes later after that substitution, and it literally was Kritsov. Like Kritsov was the guy that ultimately made the mistake, and he didn't clear it good. He like slid in for the tackle. It landed right at a Tigres player. It was like up like top 90. You couldn't stop it, right? Like, or maybe you could. I don't know. That's up for grabs, right? That's up for debate. But yeah, I don't know. It completely changed the dynamic of the defense. I feel like everybody was caught sleeping defensively. Like we just weren't good, and we just completely fell asleep. And it was just a really bad game. And with this comment, when Campana had a bad game without his penalty, he was so bad with his feet. Campana has been very, very, very poor. He has been so poor these last games, and every time we always back him, right? And I feel like there's no Campana haters here, and if you are, please like make yourself known because I would love to talk to a Campana hater and be proven wrong. But I've been backing Campana, right? Like I think we all been pretty supportive of Campana as like he used to be our like a guy that we've relied on, whether he was starting or benched. He always seemed pretty clutch, whether he would come off the bench or started. And even though he hasn't really been scoring a lot recently, he's been pretty inconsistent. Dude, like last night was just like, where is Campana? Where is Campana? Like completely ghosted. And when he stepped up to take the penalty, right? Excuse me. When he stepped up to take the penalty, I kind of questioned it a little bit because I thought it was gonna be Robert Taylor. I thought it was gonna be I thought it was gonna be Robert Taylor before he got subbed out, right? Like if there was a penalty kick taken. Um, I thought it was gonna be like maybe Matias Rojas. I don't know. I mean, like Campana probably would have been my second bet, but I understand why Campana took it because he's the striker. He has to be given that confidence. He hasn't scored in a really long time. He has to be given that confidence of scoring goals, right? And I think it did. It did give him that confidence. After scoring that goal after a while, um, it my dog is crying like right in front of me. Excuse me, but he he definitely changed after he scored that goal, but like I think at that point it was a little too late, and honestly it wasn't enough. To be honest, I don't think it was enough. Tata will never start Frey. He's extra cough with the injury history, and it completely makes sense, right? Like with the amount of injuries that unfortunately that Ian Frey has suffered, playing him back-to-back games is very, very scary and it's very, very risky. And you really don't want to lose a player like Ian Frey, especially because of how he has been playing with the minutes that he's been given, right? And so with um with the opportunity, I don't know if you guys heard my dog like running back and forth, but um with the opportunity, like yeah. So I understand like that does caution, but he hasn't. I don't know. I feel like he definitely should have at least played a half. But it's better for him to play in the knockouts. Hopefully, he will get the start in the round of 32, whether that's against Toronto or Pachuca. But yeah, it is what it is. Welcome, Outlaw. I appreciate you for being here. Um, Crystal should have started. Really, you think that Crystal should have started? To be honest, we basically gifted Tigre those two goals. Yeah, no, those were 100% gifts. Like I said, like we were so sloppy defensively. Like that was probably the worst defensive that was probably one of our worst defensive games in recent times, in recent games. We definitely could have been a lot better, but that I honestly think that's because of not even just for Kritsov. I can't even put a lot of blame on him. I mainly put the blame on Aviles. Aviles has been it's just I feel like he's been so disappointing almost since his arrival. Like literally from the moment that he stepped on the foot for an Inter Miami shirt. Like the moment he stepped on the field with an Inter Miami shirt, I feel like he's just been very mid, like just absolutely mid. Um, yeah, and it's unfortunate. I don't want to say that, but it is what it is, right? Like he's just been very, very mid. Um, After the penalty, he did play a little better. He did play a little better. Yep, that's what I said. I mean, like, because yeah, it gives you that confidence, right? When you score, even if it is from a penalty, it gives you that confidence booster. And I think that's what Campana needed after so long of not scoring. Outlaw says yes, you can support a player, but it doesn't help. But he doesn't help himself by playing this type of games, which makes him look so bad. That gives you a lot of doubts when keeping him in the team. Are you talking about Campana? Or you're talking about Frey? No, I think you're talking about Campana, right? Yeah, I mean, you can support a player, but he doesn't help himself by playing this types of games, which makes him look bad. That gives you a lot of doubts. Yeah. So no, it honestly does, right? I don't want to. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't want to be a Campana hater. I really don't want to be a Campana hater, but I just want to say that he just has been playing pretty poorly as of late, and so we can blame that on him. We can play that on the we can blame it on the lack of minutes that he's been given, because of Suarez. But I don't know. I feel like at this point it's kind of on Campana for the way that he's been playing. Campana couldn't connect well with the midfield, and at times he was making backheel passes to nobody. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what's been going on with Campana. I don't know if it's the bleach hair. I don't. It definitely started before the bleach hair, but he's um he's been very he's just been very questionable with his decision making, with his chemistry with the rest of the team. Like I feel like I don't know. I don't know if Gambana is going to be staying with us any longer if he's going to continue to play the way he does. I feel like he just doesn't fit into the team anymore. And I know that might be a bit of a stretch um considering what he's done for us in the past, but hey, I mean, if he doesn't get his act together soon, I feel like his time with the club it might be done. And that could be too harsh, that could be too soon for me to say, but I don't know. I honestly, at this point, I feel like it's not a bad assumption. I understand that we're going to be losing Suarez and we're going to be losing Gomez. We're going to be having some international, like Suarez is taking up an international slot. We'll have what, 3 international slots for next season. I think we'll be more than happy getting a superstar striker. Um, whether that's like a retiring European striker or like a young promising, or like a hot player in the MLS or even in like South America. I don't know, like whoever it may be, I feel like we could get somebody pretty good next season. So I don't know. Do we think that Campana could be leaving the club if he continues this form? If we continue to see that he doesn't really fit in the team? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I really hope it doesn't get to that point. Yeah, guys, if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, I'll put I mean, there is a link in the description. I could put it in the chat for you guys. I'm always putting what's it called? Like just news and things like that of what's been going on like with Inter Miami, with different transfers that have been happening around the world. So if you guys want to join that, I'll leave it right here if I can actually type it in the chat. Yeah. You can join that link right there. Um wait, let me try. Yeah, you could do that link. That's a clickable link. Yeah, there you go. So you can do that if you want to join if you want to join the Discord. We just have some discussions there. It's like a group chat. You just say whatever you want to say about Inter Miami, about transfers, about Bull from any league, any team, anywhere. But yeah, so um yeah, but that's on Campana. I don't know if anybody agrees with me on Campana or has any other opinions about Campana. Lots of confidence or can't play in our system. Lost the confidence or can't play in our system. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. He could be given the boot? Do you think it's too harsh to be given the boot like for like how he's been playing or how he hasn't really been fitting into the team recently? Remember the spot Campana is holding in the team too. I mean, like, yeah, but I don't it's tough. It's really, really tough. But I don't know. Who would you say was probably actually no, I know who our best player was. And I think every Inter Miami fan or anybody that knows ball knows who the best player on that field was. And the batter and Herons have said it, and I think the Drive Pink dialogue, I think that's what they call themselves. The dialogue, those guys have said it, and I think everybody can agree with me on this. But the best player on that field for us tonight, and I think was man of the match, is Yannick Bright. Yannick Bright has been the I don't know, dude. Like I think if you guys have been with me since almost the beginning of me covering these guys, which is literally this season. This is my first season covering on this YouTube channel for Inter Miami. Um, Yannick Bright, ever since he got subbed on, I remember he got subbed on in like the last 10 minutes of the game and played like a CDM role, like kind of like an no, was it like an 8? I don't know. It was like a 6 or an 8. I forget which position he played. But what I remember the last like 10 minutes, he played for like 10 minutes in his debut in the MLS. And I knew like that guy, I knew that kid was promising and I knew he was gonna be one of our better midfielders or one of our better young midfielders. And he's definitely been proving that in these last couple of games. He has been an absolute beast. He's been a monster. He's an Italian stallion, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome to see that our future does look pretty bright. Like it looks bright. Our future looks bright. I think like that's the motto that we're gonna be. That's the saying. That's the quote for bright. That's what I should have titled this. That's probably what I should have titled this video. The future is bright. I'll do that. I'll do that for the next game against in the round 16 against either Toronto or Pachuca. I'm gonna title it "The Future is Bright." So if anybody takes that title, they stole it from me. But yeah, no, Bright is an amazing player. I mean, like just defensively, he's a rock. Like to play the way that he plays without Busquets, like he hasn't gotten any help. I think like with Matias Rojas or with Gressel and with Redondo getting further up the field, like Redondo has been, I thought he was mid. Bright was just doing all the defensive work, in my opinion. Like he is just an absolute like animal in the midfield, and he is definitely one of our better players. I love him. If we can pair him with Sergio Busquets, I think like that would just be unstoppable. And then like but I don't know, like him being our holding midfielder is I feel like has really been good. And I think when he got subbed off, right? He got subbed off in what? Because remember when Data made that like quadruple substitution in like the 69th minute or the 70th minute? Yeah, the 69th minute. He subbed on Negri, David Ruiz, Bushi, and Leo Afonso. He put Bushi in and took Bright out. And I feel like when Bright got subbed out, we completely lost the midfield. Excuse me. I feel like that kind of changed. That pretty much changed the game. When Bright came out, um, taking out Bright really hurt us. I feel like, and I understand why he got subbed out. I feel like you want to rest him. I mean, like at this point, the 70th minute, you want to give him a bit of rest. Um, I don't know. I don't know. But if you wanted to win the game, you should have kept Bright in. You probably could have made some other substitutions. Like you probably would have put in Sailor instead of Kritzhoff. You would have put Ian Frey. You probably would have put in that's pretty much it. That's only like really the big names that you can really make that could make an impact off the bench. David Ruiz was awful. I feel like just off the bench, he has definitely lost himself. He's definitely lost himself, and definitely lost a place in the team. Bright is always going to win the 1v1 duels, dude. This guy, dude, the 1v and it's so crucial to win those duels as well because we are not good at that. We're not good at that at all. And he is our guy. Like he is 100% our guy. I was saying, come on, guys, give the like. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, commenting, and all that, interacting with me today on this Sunday afternoon. I appreciate you guys very greatly. I don't really like asking you guys to do that. I mean, like if you want to, you can. If you don't, then that's okay too. Like I just do it for fun to interact with you guys and talk about Inter Miami and talk ball honestly. But yeah, no, please leave the like. It definitely helps out a lot. Um, in terms of other substitutions, now that we're talking about substitutions, Franco. So the quad subs, right? It was Franco Negri came on for Jordi Alba. David Ruiz came on for what was it? Um, Gressel. And then Sergio Busquets came on for Bright, and then Leo Afonso came on for Taylor. Um, well, the Afonso one makes sense, right? Because he's been doing that a lot recently. The Franco Negri getting subbed on, we haven't seen that in a while, but obviously we want to rush Jordi Alba, so obviously Franco Negri came on. Was pretty mid, right? I mean, but he's fine. Negri, like I'm not gonna bash Negri. David Ruiz was probably the worst sub of all four, but it is what it is. Sergio Busquets, I mean, I think I understand why I honestly don't understand. Like at that point, like you're not trying to win the game because with these subs, so it's like why would you put on Sergio Busquets and risk him getting injured? You could have just put in somebody like Sunderland or something. Even though like it wouldn't have helped us, right? Like putting in somebody like Sunderland or anything like that wouldn't have helped us, but you weren't trying to win the game anyway. I feel like with the subs, he completely gave up. Or maybe not completely. Yeah, no, I would say completely. I would say like, yeah, no, I don't think like he knew we weren't gonna win it, and so they were just gonna try to hold on to the win and then hope for maybe like a Leo Alfonso counterattack goal. Outlaw saying that is why Campana looks bad. I think about the show Bright puts on. I want Campana to do great, but Miami gave the game to Tigres. No, we 100% gave it away. Campana honestly should have came off way earlier than the 74th minute. I mean, like he did not do well. I honestly would have liked to see Carmichael get a shot up there for the first team. I would have loved to see Leo Alfonso probably get into the game a little earlier. Yeah, no, honestly, I honestly think that Campana should have been subbed off, but I understand why he didn't get subbed off. He already doesn't get any minutes with the team, especially if Suarez is fit and healthy. But and also, I think he just wanted Tata wanted to get wants Campana to get his confidence back. So yeah, no, I understand why he didn't get subbed off because Suarez is going to be playing in the next game anyways. But yeah, um, I'm not too. I mean, I'm frustrated because of how we played. I literally said it in the last stream too. Like I wouldn't care, right? Like I wouldn't mind if we lost necessarily. Like I want to win every single game, but like if we didn't, then that's okay. Like I'm not gonna be like going crazy about it. But I am upset of just how we played, how sloppy it was, how just disappointing in general was. Because this game was obviously not about the win. This game was mainly about pride. Who is better? Inter Miami playing against a Mexican team, one of the top Mexican teams in Liga MX. And this was just about pride to see like if we can compete with the best of the best in Liga MX. And it shows that we can. With a rotated team, even if it's slightly rotated, we can. We can't do it with players like Chelo. We can't do it with players like Aviles. We can't do it with players like even with players like Matias Rojas. Like I feel like Matias Rojas has been pretty inconsistent, honestly. Like in like I don't know. That's just me. But we can do it with players like Martinez. We can do it with players like Gressel. We can do it with Suarez, with Jordi, with Ian Frey, with Bright. We can do it with those players, even with players like Redondo, who's kind of like, he plays like he does his job to an extent, but he could do a little more. I don't know. We're going for penalties. What are you talking about for next game? Busquets really played really well, making them long passes, but playing from the back, there was some questionable decisions he gave the ball away. Yeah, but that's just how it is, right? Like when you get subbed on with 10 or 20 minutes left of the game, you're gonna have to adapt to the pacing of it. And it's difficult. I mean, like for him, it shouldn't be, but at his age, it's pretty difficult when everybody's moving faster than you. I mean, like you just kind of have to rely on your intelligence rather than your physicality and technique. So even though he is an intelligent player, you still have to adapt to the game, and it could be difficult, dude. Like they didn't even play like Tigres didn't even play like Gignac or like they didn't even start Gignac or Gignac, what however you pronounce his name. He didn't come on until about the 70th minute as well. But they played with Ibanez up top, Bruneta who played a really good game. Quinones, who didn't really do too much on the wings. Their midfield, like every player that I said last time that was going to be a problem or that we should be looking out for, did really well. Their defense, I thought, was pretty good. Yes, but with a 36-year-old Pizarro, their goalkeeper, was just acting like a goalkeeper. But I thought their cam was very very. I think he's Argentinian. Bruneta. Yeah, he is Argentinian. Argentinian, 27 years old. I thought he did really well in the midfield. I thought he did attacking wise. I thought he did well. Passing, I thought he did really well. Um, and yeah, every player that I that I said that we should look out for from Tigres, Ibanez. I think I said Bruneta. I don't know, but Gignac with the midfield, they did damage. Tigres came to play. Tigres came to win, and that's exactly what they did. But yeah, that's enough from me. We'll talk a little bit about the next. I mean, like we'll talk a little bit about this Toronto versus Pachuca game. I mean, this should be pretty interesting. Toronto are missing three players that are um out on injured. I don't know who honestly would get a win here. Toronto are currently last. I mean, they both have one game played. Here, hold on. Let me hold this part up. Yeah. So they both tied their first game against the Red Bulls. Yeah, they both tied against the Red Bulls. So the Red Bulls are currently in first place. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Are they Huh. Okay, hold on. Let me show you guys this. Let me pull this up and I'll share my screen because does that mean like we could possibly face the Red Bulls as well? Well, no, the Red Bulls already played both of their games. So I think yeah, no, Toronto and Pachuca would already go through based on goal difference. Leagues. How do you spell wait, can I not spell Leagues Cup? Am I stupid? Why can't I find Leagues Cup? Leagueus. Yeah, okay. Leagues Cup. Okay. Let me share this tab. Oop, let me zoom it out. Okay. So this is what that table their group looks like right here. With New York Red Bulls, they're probably not going to qualify right because of goal difference. I feel like somebody's going to win unless the game ends 0-0. If the game ends 0-0, then this just stays the same, right? But I highly doubt that'll happen. But yeah, this is honestly kind of crazy. This is honestly kind of crazy. I don't know who honestly would even like who would you prefer to play? Like, would you rather play Toronto or Pachuca? I feel like I'd rather play Toronto, but I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? El Paco Tigre Hermano. A lot of people talk what what Messi. A lot of people will talk about what Messi won, but only selected people will talk about what they won against Messi. Somos Tigres. Miami lost 3-1 against Monterrey with full squad. Oh, wait, I know this game isn't in reality wasn't the important in the plans, but Miami hasn't played we a full healthy team against the I mean, that's like true, but we still have a lot of good players. Miami lost 3-1 against Monterrey with full squad outlaw. Was it against the full squad? I don't think so. I think we were still missing quite a lot of players. But I think that's besides the point. Monterrey was a very good team. They were a lot better than us. And we were in a pretty like shaky run of form. I think we were pretty shaken up on how that that all, worked out. But no, I like that like there's no excuse for that because like we have a lot of players. We barely played a rotated team. We definitely deserve to lose that game. Um Are we having Gomez Ben come back? Paraguay and USA are out of the Olympics. Yeah, so obviously they might not be completely back. They are obviously we have yet to receive update on them like returning to the camp, but that only just happened what like yes or Friday, right? So they'll probably be back for our next game on Thursday, but we have to wait and see. We have to see if they train, but they will most likely be back. If we do get them back, that will help our midfield situation a lot. We'll probably bench Matias Rojas. We'll play Diego Gomez. We'll probably play Benjao Redondo as well. Um, but no, if we can get those two back by Thursday, I think we will be chilling. We'll probably get an update on that tomorrow because tomorrow is Monday. They'll probably go back to training on Monday. Um, and we'll get some updates on that. But yes, no, I will go live later in the week with updates on that, as well as other information regarding our international slot or any other news that happens throughout the week. So I'll make sure we do that. I'll do that in the preview as well. So we'll combine the news and the preview in the next live that we do. So thank you for that question, S. Daris. Um, Looks like the pathway is going to be Toronto, Pachuca, Columbus, Tigres. Oh, that's kind of crazy. That's actually kind of wild. That's a pretty difficult run, dude. No, like that's a pretty difficult run. Yikes. Read the comments, Charlie Sheen. What? What are you talking about? Messi was there against Monterrey. I mean, I'm not. Well, yeah, no, we're not talking about the game against Monterrey, but yeah, no, I give their Monterrey are a lot better than us than Miami. We're still a really good team, and there's zero excuse for not winning that game because we did have all of our best players, so we just played a really bad tactic, and we just got destroyed. So yeah, and it was the same thing that happened yesterday. Um, Remember Messi was coming back from injury. Yeah, no, guys, like we don't have to talk about the Monterrey game. Like that's something in the past. Like we don't have to. We've been playing really well without Messi. Like we've gone what like we're in August now. We went like a month or two without Messi. Like we're doing absolutely fine right now. We're in pretty good form. I mean, obviously, yeah, we just lost, but like we're still doing really well um form wise. So don't get it twisted. Like it's not like that. I mean, Columbus Crew completely dominated the top teams, and yeah, no, Columbus Crew are kind of different. I don't know. Like I really would prefer not to play Columbus, but honestly, nah, fuck it. Like give me Columbus, man. Dude, honestly, I really hope that we get like I want us to play the better teams. Like I don't want us to play weaker teams. I want us to I want like that competitiveness. I want us to play good teams so then people would just so then we'll prove a point. Like cuz if we play the easy teams, if we just have an easy run to the final, then did we even like deserve it? Because it's like, bro, like we just played like like easy teams, like bad teams or teams in bad form. Like I don't want that. I want the best teams in Mexico. I want the best teams in MLS, and I want to play them. Because then that'll show that we can be the best team in North America. Um, they create players. Yep, probably against Toronto. Probably against Toronto FC, it won't matter if Gomez still not at full capacity, but if facing Pachuca, we must play Gomez. Oh no, 100%. Like we must play Gomez no matter what. Like even if he isn't at 100%, I think like even him coming off the bench or him only starting, he probably won't. If he doesn't start, like if Tata Martino has no intention of playing him for the full 90, he definitely needs to. I feel like he has to either I would say come off the bench maybe at half, but the thing is that Tata doesn't like making subs at half. So I feel like he would have to just play. He would have to start and then he'll probably get subbed off. But no, the Gomez, we need to play Gomez. I'd rather have Gomez play for Matias Rojas and then have Benja over Redondo. I think like they were just a lot better teams. And our best midfield right now on paper would be um Diego Gomez on the left, Bright in the as a CDM, and then Benja on the right with Robert Taylor, Suarez, and Gressel up top. And then our defense would be Martinez and Busi with Jordi and Ian Frey. Like that's pretty much our best team that we could put out there. Uh you don't think we're winning leagues? I put you guys doing a lot with pennies. I mean, a lot of they create players. I mean, like yeah, that's just how any nation like a lot of like we're the only team that it does like pay to play, right? So it's just that's just bound to happen. I don't think we're winning the Leagues Cup. You don't think so? You don't have the confidence that we can win Leagues Cup? I have full confidence in our players that we can win Leagues Cup, even if it's against like Mexican teams. I think we have the capability of going all the way. We just have to have confidence in ourselves and play the right tactics and week in and week out. Like week in and week out, we have to give it our 110%. It's going to be hard, especially and of course, like we're not going to have Messi and whatnot, but we don't need Messi to win games, and we've proven that time and time again. As long as like that doesn't make these stupid decisions the way that he's been doing, the way that he did last night, I think we have a pretty high chance to make a pretty good run in this competition. Um, I felt like Columbus Crew needed an anti-doping test. They were clearly hyper, but I don't want to make any excuses. Tigres should beat them this time. Yeah, dude, Columbus are not a bad team at all. Like people really underestimate Columbus, or at least I guess like the Liga MX teams really underestimate Columbus, but they're not a bad team at all. And they're I feel like they're probably one of the better players, one of the better teams in the MLS. But that's just me. Let me see. Let me do this. Yeah, so right now in the Eastern Conference, Columbus are in third with 23 games played, 43 points. So yeah, they're quite a bit behind. They're 10 points behind us with 2 games in hand. They could they're honestly they're in really high contention of probably winning MLS Cup. So those are a real like we it's not going to be easy. Like I know I'm switching topics to MLS Cup a little bit, but with teams like Columbus, Cincinnati, even the Red Bulls, even with teams like LA Galaxy, LAFC, um, RSL have been having a pretty good season this year. You know, it MLS Cup is not going to be easy at all. So we can't underestimate them, despite thinking that we have Messi and Suarez and all these players. You know, it's going to be pretty very difficult. Let's see. But for sure we would be Monterrey. I mean, yeah. Tata didn't take Tigres seriously enough. Neither did Tigres take Miami. Neither, to be fair. I feel like they haven't. Like honestly, I don't know. I think he just didn't want to get embarrassed in front of Tigres. Like, I mean, obviously, I think they were gonna look for a win originally, but I just didn't feel like I also feel like they just didn't want to get embarrassed in front of a Liga MX team, right? But that's just me. Um, Yeah, no, but we lost, guys. We lost. It's 2-1. Last game of the group stage. It is what it is. It's not a big deal. We're through to the next round. We're gonna be playing against either Toronto or Pachuca, whoever wins that game. Um, and yeah, I mean that it kind of is what it is. But hey, you know, it is what it is. We're gonna focus on Thursday. We're gonna hope that Benja Cremaschi and Diego Gomez returns to training tomorrow. And then I'll give you guys an update on how that will be for for later this week, right? So I'll do a preview on that. I'll update you guys on that. I'll go live later in the week. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll help you guys in Discord and in the community tab here on YouTube. If you're interested in that. But no, thank you guys so much for coming. That's gonna be end for me. If you guys have any last thoughts or comments or opinions about anything that's happened last night or have any questions about any Inter Miami news that you want clarified now, I'll take them now. Um, but yeah, so I'll give you guys a minute to ask any questions or say any comments, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll end it right there. And just to give you guys a bit of a backstory for me, I've been a season ticket member. I've been an Inter Miami supporter since 2020. I have like proof of it if you don't believe me, but yeah, I've been a long time supporter of the club. Like I've been following them forever. This is my first year of making content, so I've been posting Inter Miami content since the beginning of the season of this season. Um, so I would like to say that I'm pretty familiar with the team, with the club, with the players. Um, I've worked there. I volunteered there since 2020 as well, like for Inter Miami for the stadium. Um, I've been contracted by the stadium, so I've been around there. I've like for the last 4 years, like Inter Miami has been my life. Chase Stadium has been me. Like it's just been a part of my life for a really long time. So I like to say I would like to think that I know what I'm talking about. Um, when it comes to the club. So yeah, and yeah, I'm a journal like I went to school for journalism. I've studied like I've studied all that. I've worked for newspapers, I've worked for various sports teams, both at the professional level, semi-pro, amateur level. So yeah, that's just like a bit about me if you wanted to if you wanted to see where like I'm not just some random guy that's just like kind of yapping about something that he doesn't really know about, right? Like I would like to say I know what I'm talking about and that I've been around the area and I've been doing it for quite a while. So yeah, just to give you guys that kind of perspective on where I'm coming from, where I'm getting my information from, and my opinions from. Um, has anyone looked into the cost of each goal of Messi based on his annual salary? No, I haven't really gone that deep into it. But all I know is that when it comes to goals, Higuain is still the top goal scorer at the club. He is now tied with Campana after he scored that penalty kick. So they are both tied on 29 goals, the highest in the club's history so far. Messi is coming in hot in third place with 25 goals and 29 appearances, which is insane. Robert Taylor is in fourth with 16 goals in 103 appearances. So that's very monumental for him after breaking that 100 game mark. But yeah, those are our top four. And then Luis Suarez is in fifth with 15 goals in 23 games. So yeah, no, the race, the top goal scorer race, the all time top goal scorer race is on. I could probably I can't organize it by who's the top goal scorer of this season? I think it's Messi, right? Yeah, our top goal scorer this season is Messi with 12 goals in the MLS. Um, oh no, wait, no, with yeah, no, with 12 goals in the MLS. Also same thing with Suarez, both with 12 goals. So it's so crazy. Higuain has the highest in a season with 16. So Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez have the opportunity to break Luis Suarez's record for most goals scored in a season for Inter Miami, which could be pretty sick. But yeah, there was plenty of penalty against Miami in the first half that VAR decided not to sanction. Whether I don't know about that. Didn't see the Nashville game. Okay, yeah, no. So no, you guys are just talking about something random, but no, I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for participating. Thank you to Ace Lionel. Thank you to Outlaw. Thank you to Skrilla. Thank you to Gel Ratgo. Thank you to all of you guys. Gustavo. Thank you to Rebellion. Thank you to EJ Torres. I appreciate all of you guys for coming out and interacting as theirs, also for participating at Baco. Thank you for coming around, the Tigres fan. Um for coming around, interacting, liking, commenting, giving your thoughts and opinions on the game, on Inter Miami, on Tigres. And yeah, so like I said, I'll be live later on in the week. I'll update you guys ahead of time so you're prepared for it. But yeah, no, until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And yeah, vamos Inter. Vamos Miami.